A workbench will help you keep your tools and materials organized. It will also provide a good work area for your projects. There are easy-to-assemble workbenches available and units that don't require any assembly at all. If you choose to build your own, here are detailed DIY workbench plans using lumber and the Simpson Workbench hardware kit. Start by pre-cutting all the lumber needed for the rails, posts, and shelves. We'll provide the exact cut list as well as a tools and materials list at the end of the video. Begin by placing the 2 shorter front posts and the 2 longer back posts side by side. Line up the bottom of the posts and mark each one up 6 inches from the bottom edge. This line will mark the placement of the bottom connectors. Measure up 34 3/8 inches from the bottom on each post and mark a line for the upper connectors. Set one front and rear post aside and attach the bottom and top connectors to the remaining set of posts. Position the connector on the marked line. Clamp it in place, and then drive screws through the connector holes to fasten the connector. Join the front and rear posts by fastening 2 of the end rails to the connectors with 1 1/4 inch screws. Attach the connectors to the other set of front and back posts. And again, join the posts by attaching the last 2 end rails. Next, attach the 2 frames to each other using the 45-inch rails. Now, stand the bench up and set it aside. Before installing the plywood shelves, they will need to be notched to fit into place. Clamp the 2 pre-cut plywood sheets together. Measure in 3.5 inches from the back edge and 1.5 inches from the sides. Using a scrap piece of 2x4 is handy as a guide for these notches. Cutting these 2 rear notches out with the boards clamped together will help speed up the job. Unclamp the boards and set 1 sheet aside. This will serve as the top shelf. Mark 2 more notches on the front edge of the second sheet. This will be the bottom shelf, and the additional notches will be needed to fit around the bench's front legs. Place the bottom shelf into position and attach it to the frame with 1 1/4 inch wood screws. Drive in enough screws to secure it to the frame. Here we are using 4 along the longer edges and 3 along the shorter edges. Align the top shelf flush with the edges of the frame and drive wood screws into it. Take the last rail you cut and place it on the top of the back frame. Align it flush with the edges and drive in 2.5 inch wood screws. To complete the project, align the pre-cut pegboard onto the back of the rear frame and check that all the edges are flush. Clamp it into position and attach it using the 1 1/4 inch wood screws. You can stop here, or if you prefer a more mobile workbench, casters can be added to each leg. Be sure to install lockable casters so the bench won't move around while you're working. Here we are installing plate casters, which simply attach to the legs with screws. Mark the plate holes and drill pilot holes so the screws don't split the wood when driven in. Be sure to install casters that are rated for the weight you anticipate placing on the workbench. For example, casters rated for 75 pounds each will together support 300 pounds. Know that adding casters will increase the overall height of the workbench, so depending on your height, adjustments may need to be made when measuring for the legs and the placement of the top and bottom shelves. This sturdy workbench will allow you to store your tools and equipment in one place and provide an ample work area for your future projects. Here are all the materials you'll need to build your DIY workbench. Here is a cut list for the lumber needed to complete this project. And lastly, you'll need the following tools for the job: For detailed information about this and many other projects, check out the DIY Projects and Ideas section of HomeDepot.com or talk to one of our store associates. Good luck, and thanks for shopping at the Home Depot.